La 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 la, wait till I get my money right.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Quantum Ascend. I have TRAC Origin Trail up on the screen here. This is the USD price chart. I'm going to dive into waves 3, 4, and 5 here for TRAC, and I'm talking about on the macro, we're going for a fifth, but we're looking for 5 waves within this. I do have an alt-season video out on TRAC that gets into some different targets. My primary is up here at 450. There is blow off potential at 1140. What I'll say is, guys, you have to use the market cap chart to measure out these prices. Today I'm going just into the price action stuff because it's shorter time frame, but there is something going on with the tokenomics, inflationary pressure, tokens being released. I don't know. I don't own the project, but you have to use the market cap chart. So that's how I got this 450. Go ahead on my X page, search it, and you'll see how that happens. Now, enough of that. We want to talk about how are we getting up there right now to that 450. So inflation usually takes place over a longer period of time. I'm not going to get into the entire chart here today, but this move was taken from actually the macro. So it works into the price chart from here, but pay attention to that. So right here, looking at this, we have our waves 1 and 2 are, well, 2 it looks like we're wrapping up right now here. For TRAC, this is the weekly time frame. And so what we're talking about is what's going on for waves 3, 4, 5. Let me make this macro guy here blue. And now we're talking about these waves here. So typically how these things move is we are going to get up at minimum back up near that high at 127, but oftentimes, especially in a third wave move, we can exceed it. And I'm looking at this 1618 here as being potentially a place for us to top out temporarily before we come back down and back test this high or these levels here. In the fourth wave of alt season, this green 4 here, we're typically looking at like a 35 to 50% haircut on that move. So the plan, and this is what we talk about all the time over in my quantum circle, way more about the macro and making sure you guys understand how everything works together, because cutting these individual alts is going to come down to the macro. So what we're looking is that run up here, and then like I said, anywhere from between like 35-50% haircut on the fourth wave. What I'll say about TRAC or Origin Trail is the market cap is only 200 million. Typically, these smaller alts with the smaller caps are going to be closer to that 50% range. 50% gets us down here pretty close to that 618, but I am looking at $1 as like a pretty strong psychological number. So I'm going to pull this. We're going to look at that 702 right there at like 98 cents. Could stop out a little shy, again, with dollar being a nice strong support psychologically. But that's what I would see for this. And again, typically how these things move, we'll exceed that high, we'll back test that or the range, and then we go into one more blow off. In this situation for TRAC, we'd be looking at a wave 1 of about 114%. Wave 2, again, it's going to really depend on where we stop out, but let's say that this is the low right here. That's going to give us closer to a 350% move, or 4.5x on wave 3 and 4.5x from our exact price right now. Dropping back down to that, 97, 98 cent level and going in one more blow off would put us at a 360% move. So in this scenario, wave 3 would not be the strongest, but it is not the shortest, and that is a parameter in Elliott Waves that needs to hold true. So again, this though could change. Say this thing only stops out. Say we for some reason hold up strong, we stop out there. Well, that adjusts this wave and it ends up being the shortest. So for the time being though, this is what we're going to be looking at. And what we need to do on the way up is be counting the Elliott waves. That's what these numbers and letters are for. Super important. You use Elliott waves with fibs, and that's going to give you the best roadmap to figuring it out. So I understand some of you are going to be upset because we're looking at like a 984%. That's a 10, almost 11x from the current price level. But guys, that's right in line with so many of these alts that we're charting out right now. And I'm going to be having 7, 8 of these videos come out a day on X. And like I mentioned, I'm doing a lot more over in my Quantum Circle group with the macro and our specific holdings there. But this is what we're looking at. This would be a completely normal price movement here. But, in conjunction, like I said, with fibs, we're using Elliott waves, and that's going to paint us the clear picture. We are trying to call this stuff months ahead of time. So we have to be flexible, and we have to take what the market gives us. We can't just say, oh, September's bearish, I'm going to sell. October's bullish, I'm going to buy. Like, stop worrying about time. It's all about where and how we get there. So, guys, this is, again, what I have right now for TRAC. I think this is going to be a pretty good roadmap for you moving forward throughout alt season. So like I mentioned, join the Quantum Circle, real-time trades, my portfolio, 2 macro videos every day to give you the full scope. I'm always on the Discord channel, and I'm teaching you guys how to do TA just like me. Link to that is in the bio. If not, just appreciate you guys being here. If you can follow, like, repost, want to help as many of you as I can before this alt season really gets ripping. So thank you so much for being here. I'll talk to you guys in a bit.